Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Feel Good Within, and today we have special guest with us, Ivan Carmichael. He is YouTube inspiration guru, entrepreneur, business consultant, and amazing author. So hi Ivan, welcome to Team Feel Good today.
Thanks for the love, Priyanka. It's great to be here.
Okay, great. So Ivan, from where did you get this idea that you're going to help 1 billion entrepreneurs in the world? And so from where all this started actually?
So where it started was very humble beginnings. I was an entrepreneur myself. I was not having success with my company and wanted to quit. Told my partner I quit, and that was, probably the worst day of my life. And eventually we turned it around. We can get into the store if you want. But after I sold my company, so we built it up, we sold it, had some success. I didn't know what I wanted to do next, and I got asked to speak at a whole bunch of different entrepreneur events because I was a young entrepreneur, had some success. And I just wanted to make the path a little bit easier than what I had. I struggled a lot. I had a lot of, I wouldn't say depression, but a lot of low moments. And I thought it was going to be easier than it was. At the time, I guess, too, there wasn't a lot of resources for entrepreneurs. And I was working really hard and wasn't getting results. And I was too embarrassed and ashamed to talk to my friends and just let them know that, hey, I'm struggling. It's not going as well as I thought it would. I was just too embarrassed to tell anybody. So I suffered kind of silently with that. And I just wanted to make it easier for other people. I wanted to show the path that I went through and the people that I learned from and some of the strategies that they used to become successful. And hopefully the people who came after me, it's still a lot of work. It's still a lot of work to get your business off the ground, but I wanted to just try to make that path a little bit easier. And I wanted to do it on a bigger scale. I wanted to do it more than just, I didn't want to do coaching. I didn't want to do kind of one-on-one client work and only help 10 people. I wanted to have a big impact. And so that's where the goal came from.
Yeah, so that's really great, and that's also like one of the reason I also started my this particular channel, because I also have some mission in my mind. And so like, what do you think, like, we should go ahead and share our mission, because I have not shared my story yet, but I think it helps. But I think you need to be comfortable as well, like till the time you go ahead and share with people why you're doing all that, right?
Yeah, when I first started my website, I shared a lot of stories of famous entrepreneurs. So I think most people know me from my YouTube channel, where I have almost 1 million subscribers, and we do profiles of different famous entrepreneurs every day. But I started that process on my website, and I would always start with other people's stories, if it's Oprah Winfrey or Bill Gates or whoever it was. And people kept asking me, well, what's your story, Evan? How did you get started? Why did you do this thing? And I always felt like, who wants to, why do you want to know my story? I'm nothing compared to Bill Gates and Oprah Winfrey and all these people who've done such amazing things. Why does my story matter? And it took a long time for me to say anything about myself, even just to write a paragraph about myself, because I just felt like I hadn't done anything compared to these people. What I slowly realized was that your story is value not so much necessarily what you have accomplished, but in your journey. And as you're going through your journey, like if you're starting a YouTube channel and you want to, help inspire people, you may not have the success that you want yet, but the path that you're taking and the daily, grind and struggle that you're going through is inspiring to people as well. And it allows people to connect to you and your mission. And when they connect to you as a person, they're going to consume a lot more of what you have to say. So if I make a video on Steve Jobs and that's it, they may like that video but never come back. If they feel a connection to me somehow and the mission I'm on, they're much more likely to come back and want to consume other videos and buy books and get involved in the mission as well. And so it takes a lot of work to just shift in the mindset. It's really just a feeling of worthiness. It's feeling like I'm not worthy to share my story, like I'm nothing compared to other people, and shifting that mindset to say, I'm not where I want to be yet, but what I have done so far and the journey I'm on is still an inspiration to people who haven't started yet.
Okay, maybe in next 6 months I'll be able to share once I have the guts and
No,
everything.
tomorrow. Right
Not
now.
tomorrow, maybe in a month or two
Why
I
don't you
might share
start?
in that
What's your
case.
story? Let's tell it. I want to hear. I want to hear your story.
No, 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 not right now. It's like it's a kind of spiritual mission, so that's what I can say in short. So what do you think? What young entrepreneurs, like if somebody is starting a company, so what advice you would like to give them before starting a company? What things they should keep in mind?
I think the most important thing and the rule that comes up the most over and over and over again is you have to do something that you're really passionate about. It's the most maybe overused set thing or the most cliche thing, but it's also the most true. Where if you look at anybody who's had success in any field, not just entrepreneurship, athletics, music, acting, whatever it is, they just have an intense passion for it. You have to have passion because the amount of work that's required is so crazy that if you don't love what you're doing, you're just going to quit. You have to
Yeah,
be kind of
absolutely.
crazy in love with it. You know, if you want to have success on YouTube, you can, but you have to love making YouTube videos. If you're making YouTube videos only because you're trying to get famous, like stop, go do something else because it's just too much
Yeah,
work to make the
yeah,
content. And so, and that's the same thing in any area. There's people who are already doing it who love what they do, and if you're trying to get into that field and you don't love it, you're always going to lose. And so I think a lot
yeah,
of people too often look at business just as a way to try to make money, and they might open up a magazine or watch a video that says, "Here are the top 8 businesses to start this year to make quick cash." And you just try to get into any of those businesses. That's the wrong approach. You have to have an absolute love for the work that you're doing.
and one thing more, so like suppose I like making inspiration videos, but then sometimes I don't get that much views. I know, like if I go ahead and make other kind of videos, I get views, but that not with something I would like to do. So what, like how you motivate yourself in that case? Because in some of the videos you don't get views, and some videos do good, which are sometimes according to you it might not be good, that much good, and some videos you put so much effort and then it does not do that much good. So how
Yeah.
you motivate yourself in that case?
So it's important that if you're making videos, for example, or in any business, it has to be a combination of what you love doing with what the market wants to. It has to be that combination. If you love it, but nobody else cares, you just have a hobby. It's not a business. And you might have to just get better at it. Like if you love making motivational videos, but nobody cares yet, that's okay. There's a market for motivation. You just might need to keep practicing to get better and improve. Like go back
Yeah,
on my first videos. I had no comments on my videos. I had very few views. There was one video that I posted like 5 years ago that just got its first comment now. Like 5 years ago, this video, now it finally gets a comment. And that's what you struggle with. Like at the beginning of any journey, you're not very good. When you started on your spiritual journey, and maybe that starts with meditations, like I don't am I doing it right? Am I you're not very good. If you try to go
yeah,
horseback riding, I see horses in your background, like you're gonna get on a horse and you're gonna fall off, or it's gonna really hurt. Like you don't know how to ride a horse at the beginning. And so it's the same thing with everything. When you start off in any field, you're not good, and by putting in the work, you get better. And so if motivational speaking or making videos is the thing that you want to do, then it's just keep working at it, keep getting better, keep improving so that you get so good that people get moved by the message. So it's got to be the thing that you love doing with what the audience wants. If it's something the audience wants but you don't love doing it, it's not worth doing because you're never going to be great at that thing. If it's making a video about, coffee, and you don't like coffee, but making a video about coffee is going to help get you more views, you're not going to put your best into that video. You don't, because you don't have the passion for coffee. And what often happens with entrepreneurs and YouTubers, I have a buddy of mine who's a successful YouTuber. He made a video about dirt bikes, and the dirt bikes video took off. And then he made a whole bunch of other videos that weren't about dirt bikes that more dirt bike videos, and those all did well. And he goes back to his other videos and they don't do as well. And then you fall into this trap of, if the only thing I can do is make dirt bike videos to get the audience to care, and if that's what you do, eventually you just bought yourself a job and you'll never have ultimate success. The key isn't to only do one kind of video, it's to raise your standards and raise your quality in the other side of the things that you do love doing. And so, you know, if you are known for making a certain kind of video and then you want to make a shift to now making motivational videos, the people who signed up before, they want the other stuff. But if you're not excited about it anymore, then you need to drop it and move on to something new and work on your skills to get better. If you look at any great musician, any great band, you know, I look at the Beatles as a classic kind of Western world kind of band. You know, they lasted a long time. I don't know if you have any favorite Beatles songs, but like they lasted a long time. But how many albums they put out? Every album was different. It was a different vibe. It was a different tone. Their early stuff is not the same as their later stuff or their middle stuff. With each album, as they grew, as they changed, as they had influences, as they evolved as people, as they went on their spiritual journeys, they changed, they grew. And so their art, their work, their creation had to change and grow as well. And so the work that you do has to always be a reflection of who you are at the moment. And so as you continue to grow, you need to continue to evaluate the work that you're doing, and always has to be an expression of yourself. My videos have changed a lot over the years. I still have my mission. My mission is still I want to help entrepreneurs. That's always the same. I believe in entrepreneurs. That hasn't gone anywhere and won't go anywhere. But how I go about doing it and the kinds of videos I put up has changed a lot over the years. And if something is doing really well, but I don't have a passion for it anymore, I'll let it go. Like that was a great moment in my past. We had a great time together on that series. That was amazing. But I don't want this now it feels like a job, so I'm stopping this and I'm moving on to something else. And you have to expect the dip, like your stuff will go down to then keep coming back up.
Yeah, so you should keep on experimenting with new stuff, with your passion, right? Well, whatever comes, so that you can have a lot of variety. That's what you're saying, right?
Constantly. And this isn't just in business, it's for your life. Like the people who hate life the most are the ones who are the most bored. They're the ones who have no variety, who stop exploring, who stop trying to grow. Those are the people who hate their life the most. The people who aren't on a path, whether it's a spiritual path, whether it's another kind of path, like you need to feel like you're growing and you're learning, you're evolving, or you start to just get really negative. Nobody likes just showing up and do the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You just get bored. And so it's worth, whether it's watching videos like yours where you're encouraging people to follow their path, or just watching your journey that becomes an inspiration, whether it's reading books, whether it's like whatever the thing is for you that makes you want to continue to explore and continue to grow, then you need to put that into your daily routine so that it happens consistently and you don't get stuck feeling bored, and then that turns into really negative energy.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I'll try to follow it. I'll try to share my passions as well. And also, I want to know, like, what do you think is the best marketing strategy these days? Like, do you believe like we should like organic is good, or you believe in paid marketing? Like, does it work in the long run?
So I think it just depends on what you're trying to market and sell. I think paid is a great way to be able to explode your business once you've proven a model. So, you know, if you are selling an e-commerce product, you're selling fidget spinners, right? And you have a website of fidget spinners, and you know that, hey, if I get 1,000 people to my website, I'm gonna make, $100, and from that $100, people might come back and buy more and whatever. Like you can do the math. So you just have to see now, how much does it cost me to get 1,000 people to my website? Maybe Facebook advertising can really, 10 times your traffic or 100 times your traffic, and it pays off. The great thing about paid marketing is it's super fast to grow, and you can track it a lot of times right down to the sale. But you need to do the work to figure out the process. A lot of people just advertise and their funnel is broken. You can have 10,000 people come to your website or your video and they don't take any action. So you've just spent all that money on something that then doesn't work. So it's not that the model doesn't work. It's just more that you have to prove that you can convert people along the way. I would start with having your core audience that you're building up through your own, if it's YouTube channel, Twitter, like whatever model fits your style best. Like if you like being in front of the camera, you know, Medium is not a great place for you where you have to write posts. That's like, for me, I'm not on Medium. I don't write long form content on Facebook or LinkedIn. I'd much rather do an interview like this. I'd much rather be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So that's better for YouTube. That's better for making Twitter replies. That's, you know, video lends itself better to certain markets. And at the same time, then I would start building my own audience, and then I would try to work with people who have audiences where my message would be a potential fit. So look at partners. So if you're making daily or a couple times a week inspirational videos, who are some other people who are going on their own spiritual journey? Even what we're doing now, like you have me on your show, some people will search for my name, this video will pop up, like, oh, who's Priyanka? What's Feel Good? And you start getting more traction, right? I'll add you to a playlist. There may be other people who are on their own spiritual journeys, and maybe you go on their channel and they come on your channel. And then your audiences get to cross-pollinate. And if they like your message, they might subscribe to what you're doing, right? And so making those kind of alliances and partnerships can really help in the short run. I think the best long-term strategy, though, is to be able to build your own audience, your own market. You know, as an example, I have a book coming out, right? December 6th, my new book is coming out. Most of the sales from the book will be to my own audience. People who know me, like me, love the content. It's a reflection of what I'm already doing. And I have a lot of friends who have big channels and who have big social media followings, and I'm going to do stuff with them. And I appreciate it, and I love it, and I'm so grateful for their support. And that'll help drive some sales for the book. But most of the sales are still going to be through my own audience that I built up over the years. So like the best asset that you can build up is your own audience, is doing the work you're doing now, which feels hard, like 3 videos a week. Just keep going for years, right? 3 videos a week. People will keep coming back, and you start building that up. And then when you want to launch the Priyanka whatever book, necklace line, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, you have people who are willing and ready to buy.
Yes. So tell us something about your new book, this 10 Rules of Success, which is coming, what it's all about.
So my YouTube channel is probably best known for looking at 10 different successful, or there are lots of different successful people, and pulling their 10 biggest rules. And the idea is just to be around people who've had a lot more success than us and learn from them. And the more you're around successful people, the more the mindset, the belief system, the habits start to seep into you to go and do the work. Because a lot of times our environment just kind of keeps us where we are. Keeps us safe, keeps us comfortable, keeps us doing small things. For you to push, at least for me, like for me to push every day to think like I could do this big thing is hard, because my friends are great people, but none of my friends are doing huge things. And so I need to be around Steve Jobs. I need to be around Naveen Jain. I need to be around Priyanka Chopra, like people who are doing things, have a great inspirational message, because that inspires me to want to go off and do bigger things. So I say Priyanka because, well, it's your name, but she's in the book too. And I love her message. And so the idea with the book was take the 40 most popular people from my videos and condense their rules down. So we have 2 rules per 1 page. And the idea is, don't read the whole book. Don't read it like a book. Don't read it cover to cover, because you'll miss too much. The idea is I want to build a habit of 1 page per day. So there's spiritual messages in there. We have Sadhguru in there. Right, great. So you're reading Sadhguru, and he just gives you 2 great ideas. And you read that. This is like 2 of the greatest things he's ever said, or 2 of the greatest things Priyanka Chopra has ever said. Just read that and sit on it. Don't go and read 20 more rules. Read that and then think, how can I apply this to my life or to my business? And if you did that consistently every day, read 2 great ideas from someone who's accomplished a lot, you start to change. You start to get more motivated. You start to have more confidence, more boldness. And so I resisted writing this book for a long time, because I couldn't see how, I didn't want people just to blast through it. I thought it'd be too bite-sized and too condensed. But then the idea of reading 1 page a day really stuck with me. I thought if people actually read 1 page a day, their life will change. It will. You may not see it on a day-to-day basis, but if you don't see a friend for a month and then you see them a month later and you've done this exercise, they'll say like, what happened to you? Like you're so much more motivated and confident and bold. And so that was the idea with the book. And I do it myself. Like I don't release anything that I'm not using myself. So every morning I wake up just before the sunrise, and the first thing I do is I read one page of the book. And it gets me from being like tired and just waking up to like, I want to do something bold today. Because I don't jump out of bed. I'm like, yeah, mission. I'm tired. I slept 5 hours last night. I'm tired. So the book kind of helps me just start thinking bigger instead of just falling into your routine. And so I think the biggest problem that a lot of people have is just that their environments and their routines are really poor. And so I'm trying to create an easy way for people to get that knowledge and that motivation on a daily basis to do big, bold things in their lives.
All right. So thanks for writing this book. And I think then your day also goes very good. If you read good book in the morning, one page, then it goes into your mind and you remember that points, thoughts also the whole day, right? And then your day goes really good as well. Another thing which I really want to know about how you are so productive. Like I really struggle to put 3 videos per week, and you're doing 3 per day. So what's how you're able to do it? I know you have a team with you, but still it takes a lot of hard work from your side too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. You told in one of your videos you shot 60 videos in one day. That's insane. So how, from where all this energy comes up and how you're able to manage? So could you please tell us some productivity tips which you follow?
Yeah. So first off, it is unfair to compare. If you're a solo YouTuber, it's unfair to compare your output to what I'm doing because I have a team. There's 8 of us who work on the YouTube channel. So that's not how I started. I did everything myself. But now it's unfair to expect you to be able to go 3 a day without having some kind of team. If you could do it, you'll be teaching me a lesson. That'd be awesome. I think one, it's just putting in the work so that you get better faster. I've done over 5,000 videos, and I don't have any special talent at this. If you go watch my videos, my first videos, go back on my channel, they're still there. You're already better than I was. I was so nervous and so shaky. And my first interview with whoever, I was just terrible. And it's just by doing a lot of work, if you do anything 5,000 times, you're going to get better. If you meditate 5,000 times, you're going to get it better than when you first started. You just have to. You have to be just really, really, really bad to not have any improvement after 5,000 times of practice. So what used to take me a day to be able to do, my first video took me 2 days just to record it, and it still sucked. And now I can make that same video in 5 minutes. I don't do retakes most of the time. I don't have, I wish I had bloopers because I want to have bloopers on my videos. I don't have bloopers. I don't make mistakes. I don't go back and fix things because it's pretty good coming out of the gate. And again, it's not because I'm great. It's just from practice. If you play the piano and somebody says, play the C scale, and you've done that 5,000 times, you could do it with your eyes closed. You could probably do it backwards. You don't have to think about it. It's so easy. And so that's where the more practice you put in, you'll get better. So making 3 videos a week, if you just stick on that schedule, it will not take you as long 6 months from now as it does right now. It just won't. Right. You'll get better. You turn on the camera and boom, you're ready to go, and you'll do it faster. So that helps. The other thing that really helped me is chunking your time, because a lot of time is wasted on the setup, on the lighting, on the angles, on the focusing, on I need to get whatever I'm gonna wear. I need to fix my hair. Well, I don't have a lot of hair. You have to fix your hair, and even just the vibe of okay, I'm ready to talk to a camera now. Because some days I'm in introvert mode. I'm writing my book. Don't talk to me. I don't want to do an interview while I'm introverted. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just let me do this. And to get on camera, you got to switch the personality to be the more outgoing
Yeah,
version of yourself.
sometimes it happened with me also. Like sometimes I don't feel like wearing makeup or not, like doing all this hairstyle and all. So it happens with me also. Not all days you feel like doing the same thing.
Sure,
So I
the
really
variety
like
is good.
your, yeah,
Yeah, the variety is
I
good,
really
but
like your
if
answer.
you do all that once, like if you set up once and then you film 10 videos, all of that stuff goes away. All of the setup, takedown, makeup, no makeup, clothing, vibe, energy, like all of the preparation work, you only have to do once. It's like you're cooking a meal from scratch every time, where you could cook a meal for an entire week, just increase the quantities
Yeah.
and shave down a lot of your time.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I think, you gave in one of your videos, and I'm trying to follow from last 2, 3 weeks, and it's working for me. So I think that's really good idea.
Nice.
And I really love your t-shirts. So I think you should have a new website for the t-shirts for entrepreneurs with good logos from Believe Team or whatever. Like,
So
yeah, I think
we
that's,
have 3 that are available. Like you can buy this T-shirt. This is the Rebel T-shirt. So it's like entrepreneur, rebel, and a bunch of words. Then there's the Believe one, and then there's the Believe hoodie that I also wear. And if you go to my website, you can buy any of those 3. I'm looking at expanding. I'm just trying to find like the right designs because again, like I wear this. This is stuff that I wear and I like. And when I look at it, I feel empowered. I don't want to just sell somebody else's T-shirt. I want to
yeah, yeah.
be proud of the products that I'm wearing, right?
Yeah, but that's a good idea too, right? Like you can go ahead and sell. There would be, I believe, there would be many people like me who would like to buy, right? Who would be part of your community, your channel. And so let's just talk about, some personal rapid fire questions also I'll ask.
Okay.
So, what is the best moment of your life so far?
Oh wow. Best moment of my life so far. I think I would just default to family, whether it's my son being born or meeting my wife. There's a lot of kind of memorable moments. I think all the highlights would just be personal ones, not so much business accomplishments.
Okay. Yeah, I really love Nina also, how she supports you in everything. Though I saw like on the cruise also you were working at that time also she managed with you. So I think she's also really supporting wife. So and you really love dancing too. So you love salsa or like you love other dance forms also?
So, I own a salsa dance studio. I was an investor a couple years ago and I bought it last year. I met Nina through salsa dancing, so it has a special place in my heart. We still dance salsa, bachata, merengue, some kizomba, a kind of Latin dancing more than anything else. And yeah, it's a great way to meet people, to have fun, to unwind. I think it's good to have a secondary hobby outside of your business, another way to grow, whether it's dancing, whether it's a spiritual practice, whether it's anything you like, hiking in the woods, just something outside of just your core business that you can lose yourself in and still have some fun in too.
Yeah, I also really love dancing. That's why I saw one of your videos for dancing.
Nice.
And which Bollywood actress you really like? You watch Bollywood movies, by the way?
So I don't know a lot about Bollywood movies. I don't know a lot about movies in general. I don't follow the Hollywood scene. We did a video yesterday on Lee Daniels, and I didn't know who he was. He's a big producer and director in Hollywood. Yeah, so I don't really know the Bollywood actors too much from the movies, but the people who I like the messages from, we did a Shah Rukh Khan video. That was awesome. And I knew of him, but I didn't know what he stood for, and so that was a really fun video to put together. And then Priyanka Chopra, I love her. She's been in an American movie, but I haven't seen her Bollywood stuff. But her message is really awesome, and how she's so fired up and so goal setting oriented and wanted to not be boxed in or defined. And I think there's still a culture difference between India and North America and the role of women and kind of breaking through and not being just kind of put in this box of what an Indian woman is supposed to do. and it's really interesting to see how she's really pushing those boundaries and being a role model for a lot of people. So yeah, we gotta put her in the book. So she's one of the 40 in there. I was really happy to include her.
And who else is there on the book? Like apart from Priyanka Chopra, who else is there?
So, on the cover, we tried to make it a mix again of like entrepreneurs, actors, innovators. So, on the book, we got Steve Jobs, Dalai Lama, Tony Robbins, Simon Sinek, Priyanka, Warren Buffett, Maya Angelou, Sadhguru, people from all walks of life, because success, it's about success, but it's not just business success. So it's great to hear, like Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, his view on success is different than Bill Gates, then Priyanka Chopra, then Sadhguru, then Tony Robbins. And I think the goal is not to be the next Priyanka or the next Steve Jobs, it's to be the best you. And you can pull pieces. Like, you may not like everything about Priyanka Chopra. There may be something that bothers you about her. Maybe that thing about her you just don't like. Great. Like, forget about that. The thing that you love about her, take that and make that a part of you. And so that's the idea. So to get the exposure to these people over time consistently just makes you the best version of you.
That's why actually I love your channel so much, because you have people from all areas. Most of the videos which I watched was from Tony Robbins, Maya Angelou, Oprah Winfrey, and the Dalai Lama video also. I really loved it. It was really very nice.
And it's learning for me. Like, I had never heard, I did not know who Priyanka Chopra was before making the video on her. Naveen Jain, I don't know if you know Naveen Jain. This guy's a legend. I'd never heard of him either, but I love his vibe, his mindset, his attitude, and like just the big thinking that he's going after. APJ Abdul Kalam.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah,
like,
he's also,
like North America, we're very insulated. We're very North American focused. But when we got a request, like, we'll look it up. And AP, like, he's insane. He's so great. I love his message, his vibes, his like kind demeanor, his caring. And it was an honor to make that video on him. And I think part of what we're doing is also kind of exposing these messages from other cultures to the North American culture too, because we can be very only, North American. And it's great to have Tony Robbins and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Warren Buffett and like the typical American entrepreneurs, but I really wanted to make sure that we also had an international vibe to it. So yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, I think that's the best part, because there could be an entrepreneur in some other country who might be doing very good and you never heard of him, right? And then when you make a video and then I see a video, then I search who is he exactly and what he's doing, and then I get to learn so much. So that's really good that you started this channel and this idea. That's really good actually.
Yeah, and India is our #2 audience. Like, it's USA #1 and India is #2. Even for the book sales, like my first book, India is the second most popular country where we had book sales. So we got a lot of people in India watching, and I'm very grateful and humbled.
Yeah, great. A lot of population also. So that's why maybe, but that's really good to know. And what is your favorite book actually? Like, book which you would, would like to refer to people, which you really think it's really very, very good?
Yeah, I mean, beyond looking at my own books, because I read my own books, so I like my own books. The one that had the biggest impact on me was a book called Radicals and Visionaries, which isn't around anymore, which basically does what my new book kind of does. It looked at different famous entrepreneurs, and it gave their story in 4 to 5 pages. And that's how I would start my day. Like, before YouTube was around, before there were video content on entrepreneurs, I would start my day reading one famous story per day from that book. But I think it's out of print, so it's hard to find now. The other one that had a big impact was The 4-Hour Workweek from Tim Ferriss, which is a classic, and more not about working 4 hours a week, because I don't think that's, I think if you love what you do, you don't want to just work 4 hours a week. You want to work more, but more about just the delegating and building a team and not trying to do everything yourself. I think makes a big difference.
So I have not read this book 4 Hour Per Week, though I heard a lot of good reviews about it from a lot of YouTubers, not only you, a lot of other YouTubers have also said. So I'll definitely go ahead and read it. Other book also I'll try to find out if I can get it. I'll go ahead and read it. And otherwise, which is your favorite movie? Like,
My favorite movie is called Seabiscuit. It's around this. It's a believe. It's a believe movie. My one word is believe. It's around this horse that is too small. It's a racehorse. The racehorse is too small to win. The jockey they put on is too big to win. The owner, goes bankrupt. It's like all these people who are supposed to lose, and then they find each other, and then they win. And I just love that idea. I love that idea of a lot of the entrepreneurs that you look up to. If you look at where they come from, their circumstances, Oprah was supposed to lose, right? Like had no money, had to go to school in potato bags that her grandmother sewn together. All of these people that you probably look up to and love, look at their story. They were supposed to lose, but they believed in themselves and they won.
yeah.
And I love those kinds of stories. So Seabiscuit.
Yeah, even I love that kind of stories and movies which are really inspirational, because sometimes you also get to, go through so many difficult situations, and then that really helps. If they can do it, you can also do it, right? You can also turn your situation, whatever it is in your life, because everybody is going through some kind of struggle don't know about. And and also, I want to know, like, what relationship advice, if you would like to give to to entrepreneurs, like how to balance like your career and your family life. If you have any advice to give to
Yeah.
entrepreneurs specifically.
I know we're kind of over time. I got to hop off, but let's go on this question because I think it's important.
I'm sorry.
I think one, and just in the communication, being an entrepreneur takes up so much of your time.
Yeah.
That it can be difficult for a partner to understand. And I think one of the best things that I've done and continue to try to do is to communicate and involve my family in what I'm doing. So like, Nina, my wife, and she's involved to the extent that she wants to be, whether it's making videos on my channel or vlogging with me. We're leaving for Montreal tonight, and I'll probably vlog that, and she'll be in some of them. But also just explaining the challenges that I'm facing and what I'm going through in my company, even if she can't help, just so that she knows what's going on and she feels connected and she feels a part of it. I'll tell her that I had an interview with you and what we talked about, even though she's not involved, she's not in it, she's not in the chat, she's not, maybe she'll watch it afterwards, but just to kind of know what I'm dealing with, so that the business isn't seen as this thing that's taking time away from us. It's seen as something that we're almost doing together. And then I think in terms of, somebody asked me recently, how do you know if a relationship's going to last? I think you need to find somebody that you can grow with. We talked about before how your business you will grow as a person spiritually and in every way, and you need to bring that to your business to keep experimenting. Same thing with your business, your relationship. You need to find somebody that you can grow with, because you may be really connected right now. Like maybe you both love dance, and so that's how you connected and great. But like in 10 years, you may not want to dance anymore. Like you may be beyond it. You may want to go do something else, right? And so if that's the only thing you have in common, it's going to be hard to maintain that relationship. Where ideally you want somebody who, if you're going to go into meditation, then the person you're with is like, okay, cool. Like, let me try that with you. I'm interested in that. With Nina and me, I love trying lots of new crazy things all the time. Right now I'm trying to hack my sleep. So at 10 o'clock at night, it's lights out. No devices, no phones, no computers. That's hard to do on your own. Like if you're trying to do that and your spouse is turning on the TV, it's really hard. And thankfully, Nina is always on board, at least to try to go on the journey with me and see. And so I think that's really important. I think if you're going to look at a relationship like 40 years down the line, have you consistently grown together, or are you growing further and further and further apart?
Yeah, that's actually you well said. Like, if you're growing together, then only you can stay together. Otherwise, if your thinking is different and your passions are different, it will be difficult for you to stay together. I'm really sorry. I could not, notice the time. And thank you so much. I was really nervous before the interview, but it was so great. I really enjoyed it. And thank you so much for answering all the questions. and it was really nice. And thank you so much for coming to our channel. Hopefully, we'll do some
You
videos
did
more again in the future.
you did great, and thank you for having me. Have a fantastic rest of your night.
Good night. Bye bye. Take care.
Thanks, Priyanka. Cheers.
You're welcome. Bye bye. So that's all, everyone. So bye bye. Take care. And that's all. So thank you for watching. Bye bye. Take care.